Welcome to the Waymaker podcast studio. I am joined here by Carlton and Isaiah Mackey. They've got a wonderful program, a wonderful project that you're doing, but I'll stop for a moment and let you all introduce yourselves. Carlton, tell us about you, your son, and your project, your product.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. My name is Carlton Mackey. I'm the creator of a brand called Black Men Smile. Black Men Smile is about amplifying the revolutionary power of Black joy. We feel that Black joy is revolutionary because of all the ways that it must insist, the ways that it must persist, and I say that what it must resist in order to simply exist. That's our tagline. And we created Black Men Smile 1 month after Mike Brown was murdered as a way for me personally, honestly, to deal with the kind of emotional turmoil that I was feeling, seeing images and stories and narratives of people who look like me in states of oppression, and really I wanted to create a space and carve out a space for me to see myself in a different way. I like to say that, to tell a quick story about on Instagram during that time, I was just really looking at all the images of us at that time, and I often say that the most popular image of Black men at that time on social media was rest in peace hashtags and images, and I put an image on Instagram using the hashtag Black Men Smile, and it was the first image that populated that hashtag. There were images of Black men smiling, but there were no images using that hashtag. And I put one up, and then I put 5, and then I invited men just to share images of themselves in ways that they wanted to celebrate. And today there are over 100,000. And
100,000 images of men
using that hashtag. As that hashtag grew, and I started with friends populating it, then it kind of grew. We created a brand and a movement using that moniker, and it has grown into what ultimately led us to an opportunity to collaborate with BET to do a statement T, kind of using our asset-based messages, and that's how I met Mr. Carr.
And I want to come to that. I want to meet this young man in a minute as well, but I want to know a little bit more about you and what brought you even to get to that point to make this movement happen.
I believe that I believe in the power of art to affect social change. My first kind of love as an artist was through photography, and I was able to learn how creating images of people and allowing them to see themselves could transform what they thought about themselves. Some people, very often, I take pictures of people and show it to them, and they'd be surprised that that is what they look like, and it changed how they thought about themselves. It's almost like they felt more confident to be what they saw in this different way, and that's what kind of got me to understanding the power of images, and what started me to make this attempt of creating and offering images of Black men, starting with myself, that could allow us to really see ourselves in a different way than what was being projected most commonly about us.
So would you call yourself then a photographic artist? Is that where your craft?
That undergirds. That's the foundation of my craft. That is kind of my background as an artist. I'm an educator, and I as a profession, and I began using and teaching about the power of art to affect change, like I said, and I began teaching. My specialty in teaching is at the intersection of art and social justice. So inviting students and people to explore as an educational endeavor, inviting them to explore the role of the artist to be a change maker. And largely, I think that change starts with inviting people to see themselves in a different way. And if that can happen, then we can, if we see ourselves in a different way, it will affect our behavior, and then our behavior creates the habits that that can change our lives.
So what do you teach?
I taught at Emory for the last
Emory
15
University
Emory University in Atlanta for the last 15 years. And I just left Emory a year ago, and I am the assistant director of education at the High Museum of Art right now. So I spent 15 years at Emory, and last year I joined the team at the High, and I'm in the education department there.
Fantastic. What was your background before that? What was your background coming into Emory?
I studied theology at Emory. Even before that, I'm a Tuskegee graduate. It's not going to make sense in this podcast, but I'm a Tuskegee graduate, and my undergraduate degree is in electrical engineering, which again is a fascinating path. How just pursuing my spirit led me to study theology at Emory, and after getting my MDiv, I was on an elevator, and someone from the Center for Ethics at Emory, who was in a position that they were leaving to go and be a chaplain, and they said I think that you would be good for a role at Emory that I have that I'm leaving, and that introduction kind of facilitated me beginning this journey at the academy that led me to ultimately kind of carve out my niche in that space to be somewhat of an expert, or at least wildly curious about studying the intersection of art and social justice, or ethics in the arts.
Rarely is a journey in a straight line.
Oh man,
And you're proving that.
oh my
what you're
goodness,
sharing with us
oh my
here
goodness,
today.
very much not a straight line.
Not at all. Let's talk about with this handsome young man who you brought with you.
Yes, sir.
Isaiah, how are you today?
I'm having a wonderful day.
Do you typically travel with Dad to these kind of things?
No, sir. This is one of my first experiences like this.
Talk about your experience here at the Men's Summit.
So my experience here has been splendid and wonderful. It's so great for me to see all these young, powerful men like myself, and I can see myself in some of them, all these successful people. It gets in my mind and tells me that I can accomplish anything I want to accomplish in life.
Isaiah, how old are you?
I'm 12.
12 years old. So that puts you in about 7th grade.
Yes, sir.
And so when you look at your future, where do you see yourself going?
I always try to envision myself in a very successful position. I want to see myself blessing and giving my blessings upon other people.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but what do you think about what your dad just shared with us?
I think that my dad just shared, he was talking about his story and how he got here and the blessing that we've been given and the chance to come here. And I think I agree with what he's saying, that is a true blessing to be here.
Well, it's a true blessing for us to see you both here together and to have you both here talking to us as you are. Talk about some of what you've done. You talked about Black Men Smile. Tell us some more about some of the other images that you've created and some of the other things that you've done through this business.
And we've Black Men Smile has afforded me an opportunity, really first and foremost, to be honest, to see myself differently, and it has helped me build. It has been a bridge that has allowed me to have really meaningful and intimate relationships with other Black men. By doing this work and seeing the ways that Black men have leveraged this platform that I've created to be vulnerable, to be inspired, and they've shared back to me ways in which it makes them want to be closer to their son or to show up in different ways. It's really helped me reconcile my relationship with other brothers who, whether we're conscious of it or not, I feel like as Black men, we have this habit of, when we're in the presence of other Black men, particularly for the first time, it's like we do this want to size the other brother up thing, where it's like, And this work has made my first inclination not to see where I stack up against another brother, but more in the process of doing this work. Now the first thing I want to do is build a connection to find what is a way that we can connect with each other versus where do I fall in line in proverbial or quite literally this pecking order. And I think that the reason we do that is ingrained in us because of all societal reasons, but I am no better than any other brother that has done that. And I'm acknowledging that I have in the past fallen into the habit of doing that. Some of it is about not wanting to be rejected. Some of it is about wanting to just, not wanting to be judged or seen in a certain way. But what I've really begun to do through this work is see another brother, and now I just want to find a connection and find a way for me to understand what it is that makes them who they are, and that's transformed. That has allowed me to be open to make and to have real meaningful relationships with so many other people. It's been transformative.
So you're a photographic journalist, a photographic artist, and I think back to first Trayvon Martin, and we first heard about Trayvon Martin, but we didn't see that. We heard about it. But Michael Brown, I recall my niece calling me from St. Louis and telling me that there was a picture of this man still in the street for some time after that happened. What was it that impacted you so greatly about that led you to all these other things that you're doing?
I think it was the feeling that I had. It was two things. It was one, the overwhelming feeling of. It was two things. It was these deep feelings of anger and fear that I began to internalize, and the second was me feeling like I'm not like a big protest person, or even if I were, what change could I make to the external world that could change so that would make it where I could never see that again, so that wouldn't happen to anyone else. And what it led to was me realizing that really ultimately what I needed to change and what I needed to see for me, I needed to change what was happening on the inside. I needed to resist beginning to feel anger and fear as the primary emotional state that I was in, that was driving really all of the decisions that I was making. I feel like I learned through that process that I'm a really sensitive person, and my emotions were becoming toxic even unto myself. And Black Men Smile or interjecting a different set of images just allowed me to be able to have a constructive avenue or something constructive that I could do that could give me something else to feel and another way to somewhere else to place my energy that I felt could be much more positive than what I was seeing, and definitely what I was experiencing and feeling on the inside.
So people who aren't here at the summit, how do they best connect with you, what you've done, or even get your products?
We are everywhere as Black Men Smile. I like to tell this because I think it's important as to where we are and how you can find us everywhere as Black Men Smile. So Black Men Smile was created a month after Mike Brown was murdered, and in that search for images, healthy images of Black men, I put in that hashtag, and it yielded no results. And so I populated the first image. And then I just started searching. I was like, well, where else is Black Men Smile anywhere else? And within about an hour, I was able to secure, because it didn't exist, I was able to secure the Facebook page Black Men Smile. I was able to secure the Instagram page Black Men Smile. I was able to secure blackmensmile.com. I was able to secure Black Men Smile on Tumblr. I was able to secure Black Men Smile on Twitter. I was able to trademark the name Black Men Smile, all because those three words in sequence did not exist anywhere in the landscape of media, social media. And it's a wonderful story, and it's my way of saying you can find us everywhere as Black men smile. But it's also the sad story to say that in 2014, that it had not been taken anywhere.
Because it may not have been seen. It's a powerful story. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for being here at the Waymaker Summit, and thank you so much for bringing this young man.
Oh, absolutely. This means so much to me. Thank you
so much to all of us.
Thank you so much.
Keep doing well.
Absolutely.